afternoon, our dear listeners. You are listening to Stone City FM 90.7 megahertz. And this afternoon, as it's always been for the past couple of weeks on Sundays at 1 p.m., you are listening to the YIP Youth Talk Show. And today is the grand finale of season 1 of this great initiative. So wherever you are joining us from, listening to us from, call a friend to remind another young person out there, because we are live, and as young people, we are ready to change the narrative. My name is Constantina Etonam Afi Agbenolauduga, second deputy speaker of the Youth Impact Parliament, the 5th Parliament, and I'll be your host for today. And this afternoon, we are talking about power, responsibility, and the future of democratic leadership. Our focus today is on presiding over democracy, the role of speakers in strengthening parliamentary governance. Now, many of us watch parliament or parliamentary proceedings and think the speaker is just there to say order. But if you look closely, that seat controls discipline, it controls fairness, and sometimes even the direction of national decisions. So this afternoon, we are asking, are speakers just moderators, or are they silent power brokers in democracy? And joining me in the studio of Stone City FM are distinguished young leaders shaping parliamentary culture at different levels. We have the Speaker of the Youth Impact Parliament, Right Honorable Adams Osman. We have the SRC Parliament Speaker of Ho Technical University, Right Honorable Magbles Domevenu, and the President of the Senate of the Youth Impact Parliament, His Excellency Jones Amegashiviglo. Miapo nyasela undo na mile fisha fi kemile gama gadebe miase miapo nkocho Youth Impact Parliament kegbe ke mile miape season gbantu anu pompula egbe mile biabiambe dope ke le miape speaker oshi le miape parliament le Ghana le miape unto vovovo de ope dope kali ta fi de fisha finele abe wo dimavi wo so heavy la Stone City penya vala fifla na dengme nyasi ameklimi. All right, honorable members, honorable speakers, right honorable speakers, and His Excellency, you are welcome to the studio of Stone City FM. You are welcome to the season finale of the YIP Youth Talk Show season 1. How are you all doing?
Yes, we are doing fine. We are fine by God's grace. Yes. Everything is going on well.
All right, everything is going on well. So just like I said, today we are talking about our speakers, but later in the show we'll also zoom in on the leadership of the Right Honorable Alban Bagbe, and the workings of Parliament of Ghana, looking at the lessons, realities, and what it means for us as young leaders. So once again, you are welcome to the studio of Stone City FM. So yes, to start with, I want to ask all of you, young people, or let me put it this way, when people hear speaker, they think control, they think someone who is just there to shout order, honorable members resume your seat. But from where you sit as right honorable speakers and His Excellency, what does leadership actually mean in that chair? Honorable Speaker. So I was asking, when most people hear speaker, they think control. They think a speaker is just someone who is there to shout order, honorable members, kindly resume your seat. But today, I want you to share with my dear listeners and myself here seated that where you sit, what does leadership actually mean to you in that chair?
Thank you very much. Let me use the opportunity to say good afternoon to your cherished listeners and my co-panelists over here, who are also speakers of their respectful chambers. I've been privileged to be on this table today to discuss the role of parliamentary governance, which is the leadership, order, and authority. You see, when you talk about a leadership, or something like that, Leadership goes beyond holding a position. Leadership is about vision, integrity, guiding debates in the House towards national development rather than personal and partisan gains. So, as a leader or as a Speaker of Parliament, I think a Speaker of Parliament acts as a referee, a facilitator, and a guardian of procedure.
Okay.
You have to rule on point of orders, protect the right of all members, you maintain the quorum in the House, you ensure that everyone is given a voice in the chamber. You see, we are in a society where no matter how you get bullies. No matter how you get bullies. So as a speaker, you make sure you protect honorable members, even the minority in your chamber. You need to protect them. And being a speaker, I think becoming a speaker is like having the opportunity to practice impartiality at a very young age. I think being a speaker, that's what I've learned. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, to Right Honorable Speaker of the Youth Impact Parliament, being a speaker is more than just a position. Honorable His Excellency John Samagashi Viglo, he is not only the President of the Senate of the Youth Impact Parliament, but he's also here as Speaker of the Second Parliament of the Youth Government System of IYNUN SCR 2250. That's quite long. His Excellency, same question to you. Where you sit as President of the Senate, as Speaker of the Youth Government System, what does leadership actually mean in that chair?
Thank you very much to the host and to the cherished listeners. Being a speaker in leadership is like being the family head. It's like being a judge in a court. It's like being the SRC president in a school. It's like being the minister of works in the ministry. It is leadership with procedures guiding it for deliberation. Being a speaker, people will see it as a privilege, but it is hell if you define the role that you are coming to do, in the sense that you have to supervise the deliberations of different culture of people, of different understanding of people, of different should I say, family background, different clans, different ideologies, different experiences, all coming seated in one chamber to deliberate. All coming to one chamber to deliberate. Yes. To deliberate. So at the end of the day, that particular tax is not as easy as you can see. When someone in his genes, he has that kind of, should I say, proverbial attitude, and that person is in the chamber, you can't sack the person because he has that proverbial attitude. You have to manage the person in order to get the job done. Because at the end of the day, in the chamber, the decision to be made has to be made by everyone. That is why we allow one person to speak and the other to support. And if others will contribute, we will contribute. But at the end of the day, we put the question. And in putting the question, we'll know whether the House agrees or not. So, being a speaker in leadership is that role that has to manage different calibers of people. No, the little difference, although I made reference to the fact that it's like a minister, those people are selected to be part of the ministry, maybe through job application. But for speakership, there is direct representation from all corners of the nation to the chamber. So that is the extra difference that we have to acknowledge in this particular circumstance. So it's not easy, but it is worthwhile to lead different calibers of people to make a decision for nation building. Yes, thank you.
All right, so to you, it's not easy to lead, but it is for you to lead different caliber of people for the development of our dear nation. Right Honorable McBless, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Great. So you happen to be the speaker of the Students Representative Council Parliament of Ho Technical University. And the same thing for you. Where you sit, what does leadership actually mean in that chair?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to say a very good afternoon to our cherished listeners for making time to listen to us this afternoon. We are very grateful for this opportunity. So I think my big men have said a lot when it comes to this, but I would also like to add my voice to it. Yeah. Being a speaker, sitting to take charge of your chamber is more or less not just a power given to you, but it's a medium for you to guide others to do the right thing. Sometimes when you sit there, one of the symbols of authority is your gavel. Sometimes you roll, you make comments, people don't happen to listen to you. So immediately they hear the voice of the gavel, you try to do the right thing that is expected of them. You are there regardless of whoever brought you to that position. But you are there to guide others to do the right thing. You don't put your partisan politics, favoritism, or any other thing on the table, but rather you are to guide everyone to do the right thing. That's why you are there to guide proceedings. Make sure you hear everybody's side of the story. Everybody should be given the ample time, the ample opportunity to talk, make their submissions as far as they can. So you want to use your intellectual knowledge with your constitution, your standing orders, and your mind games to you play around whatever the honorable members will say, give your final ruling, and you pick it up from there. There are situations of which they may challenge your rulings as well. That shouldn't make you angry or take any drastic action against your people. But rather, come back to their level and see if both sides of the house together with you can come into another consensus. So for sure, that would say speakership is not just power driven, that you are there as one of them. So you have to guide them to do what is expected of them, regardless of whatever. Hear them, hear their side of the story. So that leadership is not for you to have power over others, but it's for you to guide others to do the right thing.
All right, so being in that position is not just for you to have power over the people you are leading. Our cherished listeners, we are encountering some few challenges. I'm sure you are unable to listen or hear my panelists. So we are going on a quick break. We will come back and hopefully we'll resolve that issue. Stay tuned. This is Stone City 90.7 FM and it is the season finale of the YIP Youth Talk Show.
No, it's not on.
That's fine.
Okay.
No, it hasn't affected this.
Okay.
So,
I've turned it on.
turn on our mics.
Some sound they can
Okay. I think they're not.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
I know.
Are you sure?
Okay, you cannot hear. So you might have been coming, but we are not hearing it. But you're listening to it.
All right, our cherished listeners, thank you for still being around. This is the season finale of the YIP Youth Talk Show live on Stone City 90.7 FM. And today we are talking about presiding over democracy, the role of speakers in strengthening parliamentary governance. And with me here as the Right Honorable Speaker of the 5th Parliament of the Youth Impact Parliament, the Speaker of the Parliament of HTUSRC, Right Honorable Magbless Domevenu, and the President of the Senate, and also the Speaker of the 2nd Parliament of the Youth Governance System, Right Honorable Jones Amegashi Viglo. And so far, they've shared with us what leadership actually means in their set. So now, moving on to my question for Right Honorable Adams Osman. You know, young people don't like to be controlled. We don't like being controlled. So how do you enforce order without killing their energy, their composure in the house?
You see, challenges in maintaining order and authority in the chamber is something that it will always happen. You see, Parliament is a place where we dialogue. You get me? So people always try to share their ideas. They like to exchange ideas. So when there is heated emotions, you see sometimes when people are debating, they debate based on emotions, and it's part of Parliament. Debate is part. Workout is also part. There are sometimes people personally attack people in the chamber, and also people also try to undermine the speaker's ruling. But there's a thin line between free speech and decorum.
Okay.
You get it? So you have to be like a father who wants to please all his children. So at a time, you use your discretion. We are all humans, you see. You use your discretion. When someone is going out of order, we have standing orders. That guy is our business in Parliament. So at a point in time, you use your standing orders. When you quote and you tell the honorable member that you are going out of order. You see, when you quote and it's from the standing orders, so far as you have filled and you are part of the Parliament, one thing you should know is you are bound by the rules and the standing orders of Parliament. So when I quote the standing orders, then you know that you are out of order, because if what you are doing, the standing orders
says that you shouldn't do that, then when I quote, you should be able to know that what I'm telling you is fair. It's not by my personal assumptions or I don't like you. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's how you keep decorum. Sometimes too, it's not everything your standing orders will capture. You get it? So that's where you apply the rule of common sense. You get it?
Yeah.
But you matter how, some people deliberately come to cause chaos in the chamber. So that's it.
Okay, so to enforce order, you use the rules which we refer to as a standing order in the House. All right. Right Honorable McBless, so you are the Speaker of the Student Parliament, and most of the times, the question is, what's the Parliament for in our tertiary institution? So before I ask you directly, I want you to share with all of us here and also our dear listeners the importance of student parliament in our various tertiary institutions.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity once again. So when we talk about the student parliament for our institution, it's nothing far away from what we see in the national parliament, where MPs, ministers come to the floor to talk about government business. That is the same thing that happens when it comes to the student front. That is our SRC, which is the mouthpiece of the student most of the times. So they bring our policies, their budget or whatever to the floor of parliament for deliberation, as well as students also bring their challenges and other views to the house, so that others will share their views, share their insights, and have good deliberations on them. At the end of the day, we are just trying to promote the welfare and the well-being of students on campus. So it's nothing very far away from what we see at the national front. Yeah.
All right. So it's basically the same thing that is done in our national parliament, just that in this case we are dealing with the student community. Okay, I'll definitely come back to you because I know how students can be when it comes to emotions. His Excellency Jones, you are dealing with since it's the Senate, you are dealing with structure and continuity. So I want to ask you, how do you build a system that works even when strong personalities clash?
Thank you very much for the question, and to your cherished listeners for listening on this radio show. Building systems that work even when people crash is basically establishing order through the few things that are at your disposal. For instance, the standing orders empowers the speaker. There is someone who is also empowered to carry out the orders of the speaker, which is the marshal. And every parliament has it. I have a marshal at the Senate, and the youth government system as a speaker too. I have a marshal there. So when there are clashes in the house, I direct the marshals to remove anyone disrupting proceedings with immediate effect. Ye enuma nyasela outpona le parliament nyana donkuji on the 7th of January 2021. He enyamava jo amedekava du ballot paper ya Honorable Muntaka Fudu Plamado. The marshals did a very good job that day to ensure that the order was installed. And that time ono 11 person na de had job that day. Emenya ne amodon kujio. So it was the marshals that ensured that there was order in the house through the directive of the speaker. The marshals listened to only one person, the speaker or whoever is chairing. So handling clashes is with the marshal, but when it does not get to that extent of involving the marshals, it deals with how the speaker puts people in directions. Either you shut this person down, tell this person to keep quiet, or interventional sciences to ensure that the house cools down and tensions bow down. Usually in the SRC parliaments, what even happens there is even more than what happens in parliaments of Ghana. For the youth government, parliaments is not so much intensive, but even Right Honourable Speaker had some tension situations.
I'll come to him.
It was a joint sitting between I think it was a joint sitting between our parliaments.
Yeah, the youth government.
Yes. We had one who was just bringing havoc, but at the end of the day, we were able to deal with it. So the clashes, for the House to go into disarray, we can blame the Speaker. But when the people are also uncultured, no matter how good the Speaker is, clashes will come. That is why orientation is very important. And no matter in the Parliament of Ghana, but you are although I'm man of Parliament for 13 years, I got to Parliament when one arm these things are very important because I'm feel very nyega still ega la muga. Let me just say it like that. He was still fool. Although he has been in the system, in fact, they are the ones who even end up joking the lot, not the first timers. So it is important that we orient the people, orient the members of parliament, the staffs of parliament, and whoever works in conjunction with parliament to ensure that we have these clashes not emanating. It happens a lot in the parliament of Nigeria. Dana call if you want to go to even their state houses. I've been investigating whether is it Gombe State House of Assembly, Taraba State, Oyo State. I've investigated either they have impeached the Speaker or Deputy Speaker, and it happens with a coup d'etat. And Makona Cho, like Ekona Ekovanapa in Cho, it was just the Lagos State House of Assembly. The Speaker traveled out of the country, the Deputy sat in the chair, the members connived, and then they said they have impeached the Speaker. The Speaker said, "No, I am still the Speaker of Bova, and you court." So at the end of the day, it's still mutual respect that will bring the the calm to the system. Yes, so that's how we can do things.
All right. Right, Honorable Adams, do you agree with Honorable Jones on this, that it takes mutual respect to bring back the calm in the house when personalities clash?
Exactly.
Okay.
I subscribe to everything he said.
All right.
You see, I had a clash in my house, as you mentioned. You were there. That particular day, it was a joint sitting between Youth Impact Parliament and the youth government system. And for joint sitting, for that day, we allowed observers to come in, make input, share their perspectives on parliamentary practices. And there was one honorable member that came as an observer. I'm not blaming him a lot though, because because he wasn't an MP. The orientation given to MPs, I don't think like is privileged to get some of the orientation. So he came to the house, and when he got the opportunity to speak, everything he said was just creating chaos in the house. Okay, so I tried to calm him down, tell him that, this is an honorable house. You don't speak like that in this chamber. Before you know it, he started shouting on top of his voice. So I had to look for my marshals, as he said, for them to take the proper action to restore calm, because I could see honorable members getting angry. Some were even saying, why will you give opportunity to someone, an observer who is not part of us? So you have to sometimes, we all want to hear diverse perspective. We are youth. So it's not mainly that you need to be part of us for your voice to be heard. We need to give opportunity to everyone to share their ideas. So that was what happened that day. It was the house became calm again with the help of the both leadership of the house, the majority and the minority leader. They spoke to their members, and we'll still come in the house and continue with business as usual.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Right now, Honorable Magbless, on campus, our emotions are high. We have our ego, the student politics, popularity, and all of that. Tell us, what's the most difficult moment you've had controlling your house?
So when it comes to the student fraud, me myself, I would say I was a member of their house for 3 years, actively participating. So I've seen a whole lot of up and downs in that house, going down some notable people in the house that if immediately you see them in the house, you can predict what will happen. And I'm glad one of them too is here. Honorable Osman.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you see them in the house, you yourself, you should know what will happen. Him alone, he can stand, and the whole house, he can stand against the whole house. Those times, and it was a great feeling, learning a whole lot from them. So merging those experiences with the little one I have and the proceedings of the house, with the constitution and the standing orders, I think things have been swift so far. But some of the challenging moments is sometimes you expect some honorable members who know the right thing, but still they are advocating for other way around. Sometimes you sitting there, you start asking yourself questions like, what is happening? Because you expect this person who is abreast to whatever that is happening, but that same person is the one against everything in the house. So that is where you have to sit down very well. Use your knowledge, your common sense to guide the house. I could say last time, after our State of Emergency address, we were doing ratification. A whole lot happened, but I have to use my ways to calm situations down and align all honorable members to according to what we are doing there. And at the end of the day, we were all at the same page before we finish. Nobody got agitated or nobody felt like him or her suggestions to whatever that is happening on the floor was neglected. So sometimes emotions may come, agitations may come, but allow them to flow. But when it's getting out of hand, you can call your marshals in. At least sometimes we make people step out for some time, so that sometimes they also, when they go out, they go and calm themselves down. When you bring them back, they happen to cooperate. So those ones are all part of the game. So when emotions are high, don't put anger to it. Still smile to the house. Try to use your common sense to guide proceedings, and at the end, you all will be fine. Yeah.
All right.
He mentioned my name as
Yes.
one of the people when you see them in the house. So I want to state for the records that when I was the minority leader for that house, you see, our minority voice was to put the president and the entire administration on their toes. So if you see me against something in the chamber, it doesn't mean that it's just for agenda or something else. It's for the betterment of the council. We want the best for our student front at that time when I was in school. So when you see me in the chamber and there's business, I don't want anything but the best for our students. That was why I was always like that. And they can attest to the fact that my voice, my perspective and everything helps shape our students' parliament better. And every administration can attest to the fact that Adam Usman, as minority leader, was Mayeshi was one of the very effective voice minority leader in the history of our SRC parliament.
All right, thank you. And I believe that's exactly what brought you or made you who you are today as Speaker of the fourth and fifth parliaments of the YIP.
Yes.
All right, Honorable Magnus.
So he made mention of something. There is something they always say, agenda boys.
Okay.
Or agenda. It's not agenda. Sometimes it's just like they are trying to run away for the right thing that should be done. So if you are trying to put them on their toes, then it tends to be agenda, which is supposed not to be so. So immediately they see some kind of faces around parliament, then like agenda boys are around. No, it shouldn't be so, because sometimes they feel like something is not being done well. So if you see the people around and you know they are going to advocate against what you are going to do, then they'll start tagging them as agenda boys, which is supposed not to be so. They are not agenda boys, but they are rather advocating for the right thing to be done. Yeah.
All right. I think that the motion they carry to advocate for what to be done right is the agenda. All right. Right, Honorable Adams Osman, I want you to just say something more about Youth Impact Parliament. Aside this discussion, we're also planning for our 5th anniversary. So I want you to just say something more about the Youth Impact Parliament for our cherished listeners.
Youth Impact Parliament is a platform where young people come and learn about leadership, governance, and discipline. Let me say it, discipline. Youth Parliament, our Youth Parliament, Youth Impact Parliament, is the most vibrant youth parliament in Ghana.
Yeah.
And I think West Africa too.
Yeah.
Yes. So Youth Impact Parliament, I joined Youth Impact Parliament as an MP for Ikropong constituency. That I had little knowledge about how parliament works and whatever go on in our democratic process. Joining as MP for Ikropong, I was put in committees to work. I got first-hand experience on how committees work. I learned a lot about teamwork, because you cannot get an effective committee without teamwork. You participate actively. You learn to listen attentively. You learn to prioritize the collective good of all of you. And Youth Impact Parliament is only the platform, or let me say one of the platforms that you can get all this at a free price. You see, when it comes to Youth Impact Parliament, joining Youth Impact Parliament is free. Just come and learn, come and share ideas, let's shape the future of Ghana through democratic leadership. Everything we do there is legislation. We learn how to pass bills. We learn how our mother parliament works. In fact, we have been recognized by the Parliament of Ghana. Our name are in their Hansard for 3 consecutive years, right? Yes. So we are not, even though someone may say it's not a big platform, but when you go into it, Youth Impact Parliament is a bigger platform, because getting recognition from the Parliament of Ghana alone is something you should know, that we are doing something well. Yeah. We have patrons who are MPs, who are political leaders from all sides of our political divide, because you want to make it bipartisan. We don't want to do with anything politics, but once a while we take debates, political debate, and debate it in the house, because we are youth and some people align with politics. So sometimes you bring a political debate so that they can argue and they can make a debate out of it, right? Make motions, how to we teach or we learn how to move motions and everything. After that, some of our motions we debate on the floor. We write position paper and send them to the Parliament of Ghana that this is our stance. Yeah. In fact, when it came to the constitutional review, yes, we added our voice. Yeah. We compiled the amendments we would like to see in the constitution, our new constitution. The amendments we would like to see. We combined everything. These were ideas by honorable members of the House. Mm-hmm. So we gave a platform for everyone to state what they want to see, because we believe that the youth are the future of this country, and the future is now. It's now. So why won't us start now, so that when we are given the opportunity to take over the rules of affairs of the nation, then we'll not learn on the job. We already know the job. That's what Youth Impact Parliament is about.
All right. So that brings me to asking this question. If Youth Impact Parliament had real national power today, are we ready?
Yes. We are very, very ready.
All right, I'll pause it there. We are very, very ready. And as you can see, I believe our dear listeners, you would agree with all of us. You are saying it on the social media platforms. You are saying it in your own communities. The members of Youth Impact Parliament are already changing the narratives. So why won't you come and join us today? All right, Honorable Jones, Right Honorable Magbles has touched on the importance of the Student Parliament. Right Honorable Adams spoke about the relevance of the Youth Impact Parliament. Since Youth Impact Parliament is a bicameral structure, I want you to share with us with where you belong, the Senate. What is the Senate about?
Thank you very much. Before I speak on the Senate, I would like to just interpret what my brother said in Ewe for our listeners. Tana nyasalawo le tujia mid brother Youth Impact Parliament enye a group of miafe youth and se wo takpepe to onyami afe nko odblom miafe nko le ofe meeting ome not less than 3 times. Speaker anto miafe nko time ya ono constitutional fe enyao discuss him ha me va gbele mi afa meeting wo and me come me afa recommendation wa ko ifima and at the all recommendations are me. Apart from that la me le country one me 5 in addition to Ghana, me le India, me le South Africa, me le Uganda, me le Namibia, India, Kenya. Tania omila menye dokumino na fima komino nyadbulmo. Serious business omile ta mi yom bem ya vajo mi ha. Now coming to the actual topic I've been given to, Youth Impact Parliament is bicameral, which means 2 chambers. It is the same thing done in the United States of America, the United Kingdom, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Nigeria. A parliament that has 2 chambers means each of the chambers don't exactly do the same job, in the sense that they share responsibility over the oversight of the executive. So for Youth Impact Parliament, that is the same thing we have. But usually, each of the chambers have a different type of representation. The lower chamber, which is the parliament, usually has proportional representation. That is when the people are coming to parliament representing per the number of people in their constituency.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but I would like you to just focus on the Senate for us.
Okay. And the Senate is equal representation. So in our Senate, we have 4 seats per region, making a total of 64 seats. It is led by the president of the Senate with 2 deputy presidents. And then we also have clerks and marshals. And we sit once in every 3 months. So which means last year we sat 5 times. And this year as well, we'll be sitting 5 times as well. So what we do is also legislation. We do legislation as well. Usually in bicameral, it's the upper house that does vetting, and the lower house deals with money most of the time, so that the upper house can just look at it. So it's a similar thing in Youth Impact Parliament for the attention of our listeners. And yeah, should I speak on the youth government system?
I believe it's the same thing as the Youth Impact Parliament, but in just a minute, share that with us.
Yeah, so the Youth Government System Parliament is a youth initiative under the International Youth Network for UN Security Council, Resolution 2250, founded by Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Lillian Saliado. And since 1st May 2023, we have been up to task. I became speaker in 1st July 2024, and I'm still the speaker. We also have all the 276 constituencies represented. We mostly operate in Accra, but we hold online sittings as well. And if you go to Facebook, you see our handles there. The resolution is about magnifying the voices of the youth in decision making. So that's all we are about. And it's more of international and United Nations. So when I say UN, I know our listeners understand what we are talking about. Aben Choma, President Mahama, United Nations Staff Assembly, Vahenya Ocho, slavery, Nyaunu, but reparation has to be given. UN, the activities of UN spread broad, and then we are also basically doing something closer to what they are doing there. So what President Mahama is doing at the UN Assembly is not far-fetched from what we are also expected to do as the youth government system for the UN Security Council Resolution 250. Thank you.
All right. So I would like to ask you this question. As a speaker of the youth government system, where do you draw the line between maintaining order and suppressing voices?
Maintaining order and suppressing voices. To suppress voices, basically to not even allow them to speak. But in maintaining order, you have already listened to them, and then the matter has escalated. That is why you are coming in with the mechanism of keeping them shut for calm to calm down. So in suppressing, you don't even listen to them. But in keeping order, you have listened to them, and the house got into disarray. So you are trying to instill order by keeping them quiet. That's the difference.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I would like us to go on a quick break. But before that, I have a question for all of you. All of you are going to answer the same question. That is, 4 years from now, what should exist that doesn't exist today in your various parliaments? 4 years from now, what should exist that doesn't exist today in your various parliament?
Yeah, so let me go first. Thank you very much. For the International Youth Network, what to exist that does not exist is that we will be well known and will have recognition from Parliament of Ghana and then even the presidency. And also the UN will be having our youth MPs go in there. And for now it's voluntary. So in the next 4 years, we'll be having funds and grants to make that a possibility. In the Senate as well, the Senate is not a popular terminology, so people don't know about it. So in the next 4 years, we know our Senate and bicameralism will get popular. Thank you.
All right.
So for Youth Impact Parliament, Youth Impact Parliament is not government sponsored. It's a non-profitable organization, and as I said earlier, everything we do there is for free. Joining is for free. So I think in 4 years' time, we should get a dedicated source of funding. We should expand our wings. We want to create regional branches, not for the parliament, but youth associations, so that at least we can impact more people. Another thing is, in 4 years' time, I pray we get our personal chamber. We'll build and get our personal chamber. Getting a chamber for ourselves would help train more young leaders. It's something we are doing without even our personal chamber and without finances. So imagine if we are well equipped, we have our finances, we have our own chamber, we can take decisions without thinking about where we'll get funds to execute those policies or those decisions. You did think about it, what we can do in the next 4 years if everything, we get all the right resources.
All right. How about you, Right Honorable Magnus Venue? 4 years from now, what should exist in the Student Parliament of Ho Technical University SRC that doesn't exist today?
Okay, 4 years from now, I would love to see the Student Parliament of Ho Technical University do extremely better than the foundation that was laid for them. Yeah, the foundation was a foundation that challenged a whole lot of student parliament. So 4 years from now, I expect them to do extremely better and also put in other measures to make parliamentary proceedings very nice and great looking to others, to attract students to get closer, to make the student front a better one. Yeah.
All right, to make the student front a better one. Okay, we have spoken about youth leadership. We are going on a break, and when we come back, we are taking this same conversation to the national level. We'll be looking at the leadership of the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin and what's happening inside the Parliament of Ghana right now. Stay with us. It is the season finale of the Youth Impact Parliament Youth Talk Show Season 1, and you are listening to Stone City 90.7 FM. Welcome back, dear listeners. This is Stone City 90.7 FM, and you are listening to the season finale of the YIP Youth Talk Show. And the conversation today is presiding over democracy, the role of speakers in strengthening parliamentary governance. And today we have with us speakers from the Youth Impact Parliament and the Students Representative Council Parliament, and also the Youth Government System, who doubles up as the President of the Senate of the Youth Impact Parliament. So now we are looking at the national level. I want us to look at our Right Honorable Bagbin. Ghana's parliament in recent times has not been short of tension. We have seen the legal battles between parliament and the courts over seat declarations. We have seen strong disagreements over major national bills and even moments of near chaos in the chamber. And recently, the Speaker directed that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill be scheduled again for consideration. So I want to ask all of you directly, when Right Honorable Kingsford Bagbin makes a strong decision and the Supreme Court of Ghana overturns it, what does that say about power balance in our democracy?
Thank you very much, and to your cherished listeners. I've been following this particular conversation for a very long time. It is a mutual understanding of the court and Parliament that the court must not open the books of Parliament. Why is it so? The Constitution empowers Parliament to regulate its own proceedings through the standing orders. Clearly, if it is something that is in their standing orders, the court does not open. However, the Parliament of Ghana is also being empowered through the articles in the Constitution, and that is where the court usually goes and open. Now, the understanding is that Parliament is a decision-making body. Unless clearly they have passed a law or taken a decision that infringes on rights, the judiciary is advised to not open their books. The last 2 times they did something of this sort was in the 8th Parliament, when the matter of deputy speakers voting on floor whilst presiding came into play. At that time, Nyasala Onyabe, it was 136 to 136, and 137 to 1. It's 136 to 136, and 1 independent. So whenever the Speaker of Parliament is not in the chair, both deputies are all on one side. So they get short of 1 vote. And when they get short of 1 vote, it means majority alone cannot get at least more than half plus 1 of the vote. The standing order says that a motion is lost when it is a tie. When NDC votes 137, MPP votes 137, there is no casting vote for the presiding officer. And the deputy speaker, although he is an MP, in the chair, he assumes the power of the speaker and so has the consequences of acting as a speaker. So, due to that, as I stated, na Right Honorable Abandon Menyaliku, if you have you don't have a voting right. So, in order to pass the e-levy, they were fighting for the deputy speaker to have a voting right, leading to the invitation of the Supreme Court to open the books of Parliament. It became a real big deal. And at the end of the day, the verdict of the Supreme Court is that the deputy speaker is an MP representing a number of constituents. It is a denial when he is not allowed to vote. However, this matter is not at the Supreme Court, so I can share my opinion on it. The person is acting as speaker. When the person is acting as speaker, you have to be impartial. And you have to be what? Fair.
Not to cut you, but right now I do not even want us to go into
the matter.
Yeah, so
Yes,
the question,
yes.
what does it say about our democracy?
Yes, so it is not something that we should even encourage, because during that ruling, the books of Parliament has been open, and now they are not being given that power to fully regulate their proceedings. Their own rule says a deputy speaker acting in the chair does not retain his vote. It is for a good reason. So when you are in the chair, you are no more an MP. You are a speaker. So therefore, you have to forget about your constituents. That is the thing. Because when you are thinking about them, you are now end up thinking as an MP and not the speaker. You see, you have the bird's eye view. And when you are the one cheering, you have a bird's eye view. Yet you cannot take an interest in the matter. But due to that, you have to take an interest. The second one was the
cross carpeting.
Yes, the cross carpeting. When the Honorable Second Deputy Speaker joined the MPP to contest. And in doing so, the Constitution says when you leave the party in which you were voted on, or the ticket you were voted on, to contest in a different ticket, you automatically lose your seat. The Supreme Court was invited to open the books of Parliament in that regard again. And the consequences of this, it distorts the democracy that we have, or the parliamentary democracy. Because if you end up be opening my books, then come and do the job. If you continue opening my books, then come and do the job. Nadeta obe eona no court, and man of parliament. Na ewova govern yeve dooma, So it is not the best, and we should not encourage it. Or else when we keep on doing that, we'll keep on weakening the strength of Parliament. They will say Parliament if you are ever to it's not so. It's a very respectable place. The pressure and the weight on them is enormous. So the judiciary should not be encouraged to opening their books. Thank you.
All right, points well made. Honorable Adam, same thing for you. When a speaker makes a strong decision at the Supreme Court of Ghana, overturns it, what does that say about power balance in our democracy?
Okay, so you see, it is for a reason why the framers of our constitution made it so all the three arms of government have their rules and whatever they do in our constitution. You get it? So it is for a reason why we have separation of powers. You get it? So one arm of government should not be seen doing the work of another arm of government, even though there are checks and balances. But we shouldn't encourage one arm of government trying to show that they have more power than another arm of government. When this happens, this is what we saw. You get it? You see that one arm of government is trying to show that they have powers more than the other. Some are saying like it looks like two elephants are fighting, and who is to suffer? There's a saying that when two elephants are fighting, it's the grass that suffer. So you see, when this kind of things happen, it's we the citizens that will always suffer, because decision making becomes very, very slow, and our democracy, the structures in which we have built our democracy as a nation, becomes very, very weak, because there is no democracy without separation of powers. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's my take.
All right. There is no democracy without separation of powers. Right, Honorable Mark Bless, what do you have to say?
Okay, so staying in the same line from my other colleagues on what is being said so far. So being there, as we all know, we are, when it comes to, example, the student front, it's still democracy we are practicing, sharing views from all perspectives, deliberating on it, and coming to a final conclusion. So being there, you're also a Democrat, being part of the House, just that at that particular moment, you should be impartial. Hear from both sides of the House, be like both sides of the House, and align yourself with both sides of the House, so that the democracy that you are fighting for can be earned at the end of the day. So you shouldn't just use it as power to drive your proceedings or your ways from what is expected of you. But you all should try and be in the democratic line at the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Right, Honorable Adams, is the speaker expected to be neutral, or is that just theory we like to admit?
So I don't know how to answer this question. You see, in practical sense, the speaker is supposed to be impartial. It's supposed to be the father of all in the chamber. Looks like the family head and everything. But when it comes to reality, You see, when you go to our national parliament, the speaker is always appointed by the president. And please, if I'm wrong,
No, no.
yes. So the speaker is always appointed by the president, and
In SLC,
no, the national parliament.
elected.
It was so.
It's
Yes.
elected by MPs.
Yeah, they are elected by MPs. So when a speaker is supposed to be impartial, and the same speaker is being elected by MPs, MPs are from. You see, when you come to our parliament, the MPs are made up of different political parties.
Yeah.
So when those MPs are the same people electing the speaker, then after that, what do you think will happen? So in practice, or on paper, he should be impartial, but in reality, there are some decisions that the speakers they take. They go in favor of their political parties in which they align to. That's the reality.
Okay.
Because we cannot get a 100% impartial speaker unless you come to our house. That's YIP. For me, I can say for a fact that I'm 99.9% impartial.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Honorable Jones, on this same issue, but looking at it in a different angle. No, Right Honorable Bagman has also pushed strong decisions on national issues, including major bills and governance direction. Do we call that leadership or influence?
Well, I think at this point I have to profile Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Badmin before I talk about that.
Sure.
Alban Sumana Kingsford Badmin, a young man from the village of Nadoli Kaliu, who in his twenties emerged as an elected member of Ghana's parliament since 1992. He has for 7 consecutive times represented Nadoli Kaliu, and as of the time he was to leave the house, or he didn't contest, the people of Ghana, through their representatives, elected him as Speaker of Ghana's Parliament. At the time, the incumbent was going for his second term, Professor Michael Okwe. In 2021, 7th of January 2021, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Badmin emerged as Ghana's Speaker of Parliament through a barrel, because what happened that day was unimaginable. However, he has stood tall in front of national politics and Ghana's parliament. He's the second of Ghana's speakers to have been given a second term, after Right Honorable Francis Daniel Annan, a former justice of Ghana's Supreme Court. And we call him the parliamentarian of the day, or his children, or should I say MPs, call him Father. Oh, Father. Is someone who has been in our politics for more than 30 years and has commanded respect within our national politics from both sides of the house. The majority and minority leaders all call him Father. The President of Ghana calls him Mr. Speaker. Justices call him the man behind the laws of Ghana. Elabena Amatpe, he is heavy. When it comes to the influence on Ghana's governance, he has had a lot of influence. He became minority leader in the 4th Parliament. 4th Parliament when Right Honorable Ebenezer Sechihiges became Speaker, after defeating Right Honorable Peter Alajete, Speaker of the 3rd Parliament, in his call and nomination by the NDC to become Speaker for the 4th Parliament. That was when he became minority leader. Look, that was when 2005, when he became minority leader. So to become a minority leader, let's just look at the influence Honorable Osahe Apenyo-Makin is having as minority leader. So since 2005, that man has been minority leader before becoming majority leader, minister of, is it water resources or something like that, and at one point in time he was minister of health before he was majority leader in the 6th parliament. In the 7th parliament he became second deputy speaker before becoming a speaker. Just look at just this track record. His influence has been enormous. Clearly he was part of the drafting of even the Constitution of Ghana. I don't have any evidence to that, but I'm sure he was part of the Constitutive Assembly, because Honorable Kofi Atto, who is now Ghana's ambassador to Cuba, His Excellency, was part of that, and they have been friends for long. He has actually been part of the architecture of all laws since 1992 passed in Parliament of Ghana. And to go through all that, basically he is part of the laws that shape Ghana's governance today. So this particular man, it is impossible to fully gauge his influence in national governance. All we know is that he has crafted the governance. He is part of the people who are the pillars of Ghana's governance. And clearly such a person, we have to celebrate him.
Yes, and that's so much about Right Honorable Bagbin.
I think I have to add this one. He has been, since 2023, he was named Togbenu Tefewola the first. I don't know whether he was in the Angola state or one of them. And just recently, he was part of a commissioning of a particular project. So, Yafe Angola Dukome ha. Nanya Selano se. Yes.
Okay. Well, you didn't touch on my question, but then I will direct it to Honorable Adams. So, I was asking, Right Honorable Bagbin has pushed strong positions on national issues, including major bills and governance direction. Do we call that leadership or influence?
You see, leadership is all about influence.
Okay.
You see, when you're a leader and you're not able to influence the very people that you are leading, then I don't see why we should call you a leader. Right Honorable Sumana Kingsford Bagbin has been someone, as someone would describe, a grassroots man. From his early age, coming through Parliament, and now, as a Speaker of Parliament, is still look at what he has achieved for himself. But you can't call on Ghana's legislative practices without mentioning Right Honorable Kingsford Sumana Bagbin. He has modernized our legislative body. That's what I want to say. He has modernized it. It has made it more attractive. You get it? So, Right Honorable Bagbin has championed a lot of policies when it comes to the modernization of our parliament as we have it. He has he recently hosted the inaugural meeting of the Parliamentary Training Institute Network, where he brought together stakeholders committed in strengthening parliamentary institutions through peer learning and collaboration. Another thing that caught my attention was the decentralization that he has championed. Right now, our parliament has a TV station that broadcasts parliamentary proceedings and committee meetings. At the launch of this, he said that one way of ensuring accountability is decentralization, to make every Ghanaian aware that this is what goes on in Parliament. You see, we growing up, when you hear Parliament, we think they are special type of people that we don't talk about them. You don't, because when your MP is elected, when he goes, he will come back and tell you that there is a war there, that's why, or there is a pillar in front of him. So when he stand up to speak in Parliament, the speaker doesn't see him. But right now, every Ghanaian watching GH Parliament TV knows that there is no pillar where that is covering your MP. We know right now we are all abreast with whatever Parliament does very, very well. He calls for inclusivity. That's the main reason why he championed for the Parliament TV. So I think Right Honorable Speaker has done a lot good for this our nation, and history will be fair to him. That's what I think.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. And what I am taking personally and all this is that as young people, if we don't learn discipline now, if we don't learn discipline in youth leadership, we will carry confusion into national leadership. Okay, we have taken our time to look at the bigger stage, that's the Parliament of Ghana, and the leadership of the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. We have talked about power, we have talked about tension, decisions, and responsibility. But this afternoon is not just another episode, it is the season finale. So right now, I want us to bring it home. From the beginning of the season till now, we have had conversations around leadership, around governance, around youth responsibility and accountability. So I want to ask all of you honestly, as leaders of our noble house, Right Honorable Mark Bless Domevenu also as part of the Youth Impact Parliament. So I want to ask all of us here, what is one clear difference between who we were at the start of this season and who we are currently? What is one clear difference between who we were at the start of this season and who we are currently?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. Yeah, so starting as a young one, growing into the world, it's always a time or opportunity for me to get a chance to talk or advocate on behalf of others. So seeing myself in this space is nothing very new to me. For those who know me for a while, though some doubts see me speak on some stages now, but it's something that me myself I see myself to be. Though that I'm just seeing improvement in every angle of myself from now going, because there is the confidence to speak, confidence to make contributions, because I equally align myself with some people when I look at my journey, even when it comes to the student parliament. My journey is way from ranks. It have risen from somewhere to where I am. I didn't just jump from anywhere to being the speaker of the 7th Parliament. And Youth Impact Parliament is one of my greatest rock to this the height. Because looking at it from H2 2nd Parliament, from the leadership of Right Honorable Felix Adiche, that is the 2nd Parliament. I happen to witness him. The 3rd Parliament, Right Honorable David Amanona, who later resigned for Right Honorable Odoi. In the 3rd Parliament, 4th Parliament, that was Right Honorable Pegita Abina Dogbefu. 5th Parliament, Right Honorable Eugene Kosivi. 6th Parliament, Right Honorable Faith Maju, of which I was a second deputy speaker for. And the 7th Parliament, being the speaker, it's of no news, because I, one way or the other, rise to the ranks to that side. So in all this, I would say Youth Impact Parliament have made a great impact on my life, and this talk show for some time now, that I think this is my fourth time being in this studio to contribute to youth development and national issues. I think it has been a productive one, a very inspiring moment when I come here, because I happen to hear insight from both the host and my other panelists, which have been very, very fruitful ever since it has started. And also episodes that I was not part, I happen to listen to my colleagues who happen to be here speak, and they make very, very fruitful and inspiring deliberations on national issues and youth development. So I think Youth Impact Parliament is making the wave, and they need that recognition and that respect. So I think anyone, anywhere that feel to support this dream, you are always welcome, and you forever be in our hearts. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so the difference between who we were at the start of this season and who we are now from Right Honorable Magbless is there has been so much growth. And if you are a young person out there still looking for a community, a space to join to help you amplify your voice and also identify your capabilities, Youth Impact Parliament is ever ready to help you with that. So moving on to Right Honorable Adams Osman, the Speaker of the 5th Parliament of the Youth Impact Parliament, I want you to share with us what the next phase of the Youth Impact Parliament looks like beyond the talk shows, the programs and sessions. If someone joins Youth Impact Parliament next season, what should they experience that wasn't there before?
Thank you for the question. You see, Youth Impact Parliament is a growing concern. You see, where we were last 2 years, there have been good, positive growth. As I said, Youth Impact Parliament has a key mandate to help young leaders achieve their dreams. We should learn how our legislative structures operate. So what I want to say is that within the next few years or next year, we should start seeing our members picking up higher positions. Those that want to go into active politics, they should start contesting for their branch executive positions. If they can go for constituency executive, and even we are even trying to encourage members, if they have the funds or if they have the resources, they can start and pick form to represent their constituents at the national level. Because I think the lessons learned, the practice that we do in the house is the same thing the national parliament does. So as I said, when they are given the mandate, it's not that they are now going to learn on the job. They already know the job. So right now their CV is okay, everything is fine. So just give them the job and let them execute it for you.
All right. So just give them the job and let them execute it for you. Right Honorable John Samegashiviglu, we spoke last week Sunday about Youth Impact Parliament in general. It is the 5th anniversary of the Youth Impact Parliament. How is the journey going? How is the roadmap looking like today? What are the plans? What should our listeners expect, and what should the whole public, the general public, expect from Youth Impact Parliament?
Thank you very much. So, this April is going to be our 5th anniversary celebration. We have in the pipeline an virtual anniversary seminar for our guests who are out of the country who want to interact with us. And the date will come soon. For the anniversary special joint sitting to commemorate it is scheduled for Sunday, 19th April 2026 at the H2S RCJCR, 1 p.m., where we are going to have the Volta Regional Minister, other ministers, members of Parliament, CEOs, deputy CEOs of state institutions, National Youth Authority, Parliament of Ghana staff represented, and a whole caliber of people, including members of Youth Impact Parliament, to celebrate with us, where we would celebrate the 5 years anniversary and talk about our future. And we are also hoping to launch our 1 million fund towards getting a permanent home for Youth Impact Parliament. I want to use this opportunity to thank H2SRC for being so supportive of Youth Impact Parliament. If not for them, we couldn't have sat this long. After that, on the 22nd, the actual day will be 22 years. Will be 5 years. We'll be doing a donation to solidify the anniversary. And on the 24th, we'll be having the launch of the OLA Campus Club, which is one of our initiatives, because they are in uniform and it's very difficult for them to come and join us because they don't even use smartphones. So we have launched at our 3rd anniversary to have Campus Club, but we will now be having the OLA one specifically. And then some other activities, including the dinner and awards night that is still in the pipeline. When the details come, we'll let you know. So we want our listeners and viewers to come and join us, support us to celebrate this journey. It had not been easy at all. It comes with a lot of sacrifices, commitment to the cause, to let things work. One thing I can tell is that YIP is for all of us all. It is not exploitative of anyone, unlike other youth parliaments that you end up spending a lot of money just to be part. My brother said it is free. It is basically free because the dues that you pay, do you think that money is really enough to take care of what goes on? So it's just something to be sure of your commitment. It is basically free.
The dues is also a one-time payment of 100 cedis for the entire year.
Yes. So it is basically free as stated. So it is an opportunity for our people to get hold of. Every day when our MPs know that this is what we're doing, they're like, they wish Youth Impact Parliament was there during their time. They would have been better off than how they came to meet, because it is an introduction to the job. All of us in this studio right now, when we get to Parliament of Ghana today, we will not have an issue speaking of law. Committee meetings will not be nothing new to us. We are already doing it in Youth Impact Parliament. Our committees are active. Our plenaries are recorded. And apart from the fact that we don't physically go to the constituencies, for the job in Parliament and legislation, we are doing it. We have gone through the passage of laws, and the video is there. You see, it's not easy. When our MPs are passing law, you guys think, our listeners think it's just that easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to pass laws. So our listeners should congratulate our MPs. Ola Gbagbaje, miafe sewota pepepe Ola Gbagbaje to pass over 1,000 bills is not a joke. It's a human's work. So it has given us an opportunity to understand what goes on in Parliament of Ghana, and we are ever ready for responsibility when it comes. Thank you very much.
All right, and we are ever ready for the responsibility when it comes. Youth Impact Parliament at 5 years old, and we are calling everyone to join us as we celebrate this great achievement. And so, our listeners, this is the final segment of the season. So, if you have been following us from the beginning till now, I want to hear from you. Have we grown? And what do you expect from us next? Miape nyaselau, fifia mido, miape wanapenu, ke mi le biabiambe de, le miape wanayamade, leke nekwe michia, ye fikawe nekpobe miagatu dole, miape season. So call us now on 0200312935 or 0240660208. Your miller 0200312935. At the message that SMS that me lange tam yapa kapo mo labubu. Your me fifila 020312935 or 0240660208. Call us now and let us close this season together. Miape nyansela miape kapo mo le bubu ele todom le Stone City 90.7 penya palaoji eya nya Youth Impact Parliament Youth Talk Show egba mi le miape sizigbantola nuwu tayomi na founami fika nekpobe mi wo donwile ye fika nekpobe mi aga atroshile. So Right Honorable Speakers and His Excellency, today is the season finale. Youth Impact Parliament Youth Talk Show Season 1 is coming to an end today. What must change is starting now for us to build a better Season 2 of the Youth Talk Show and also a stronger parliamentary culture. Honorable Viglo.
Yes, thank you very much. As I go on to evaluate Season 1, please kindly allow me for the records to acknowledge one of our patrons who is listening to us, Honorable Divine Richard Bosom, the former MCE for Home Municipal. He's following us and he's one of our fathers for Youth Impact Parliament. This radio show is one of the ways that we give experiences to our members. And it's also another way for our listeners to get to know us and what happens. Odo nyasela onbe nemi vako Anglia ko do mamiela Anglia ha avivina gake nemi wo radio show avoa mi corner recording na mi danele YouTube and abeleke mi gblia mi le South Africa mi le Namibia mi le India mi le Kenya mi le Uganda ple miafe member de le Sunyani Cape Coast Takrady wa ole Tamale ye ta meten kona pegba kodena me completely because na mema say am mema myself egbo. That is why we are not able to fully put the E in it. So when you go to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, you see the recordings from season 1. That was November 2025 to 1. So what we are doing is not only here. So obviously, in case enyasela oyo wanube miafa amedo be omenya radio fenya doblo ela bena ofe. This is their first time. This is the first time they are coming on radio. So not all of them are experts. That is why at every point in time we want to bring someone who is good at radio and someone who is not good at radio. The excellent people will not always be available. That is why mentorship is very important. So when they go through this and they get better, season 2, I'm very sure you will even enjoy our conversations more. I remember we spoke about a lot of topics. We spoke about the cocoa, we spoke about the CD, we spoke about the transition, we spoke about President Mahama, we spoke about State of the Nation's address, we spoke about the budget, spoke about a lot of things. The Farmers' Day, we spoke about a lot of things. So in picking the topics, we bring the trending issues. But once in a blue moon, we bring the house issues as well for our listeners to get to know what we are doing. So it is a very important show, and I'm sure our listeners will enjoy the next season as well. For our listeners who have missed this season, they shouldn't worry. All the recordings are set and they are on YouTube. Now call with Sakli Samoko. Na yi application de ka na be YouTube o icon na enye red ya da play button le jine press ko na type Youth Impact Parliament kana ifima ko na yi Youth Talk Show recording no kata kpoge ifima na ba se mi afa nyagbogbo le Stone City G ta ma ko montin to ya ha ma dat pe na me fe patron de ka Honorable Dr. Achibaya Olecha ye fe it was through his support that Ovanami airtime lefia bemiano nupum tama that penny for creating this opportunity for us. And through that our people are getting experience on the radio session as well. Season 2 Egome Jege in May. Season 2 is going to start in May. I think that's the first Sunday in May. Then season 2 is going to start. Tamiafe Nyasalano no Etoji by 3rd May season 2 Hagome Jege. Ye had 12 episodes and 3 special episodes. Tami one 12 episodes. Special episodes anye ladies special, gentlemen special and speaker special. Tadok nena man komiano usually next sitting le miasi a mega thing hold na radio session now. So apart from those that is how it's going to be. 1 a.m. on Stone City FM 90.7 megahertz, you'd always hear our voice. So today, we are very happy that it has been a successful season. It's not easy getting our people to listen or our panelists to come on radio. It's not really easy coordinating them. But at the end of the day, society benefits and the group as well benefits. So it's a win-win scenario, and I want to thank our hosts. I think we have 3 different hosts so far. Matilda, who is the main host, and then Constantina filling. I myself have also filled in a couple of times. So I think we'll also have Mr. Speaker and Mark also hosting in the future. They should prepare ahead. So that's my evaluation on season 1. I think my other panelists will have an evaluation to give on season 1. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you very much. Right Honorable Adams Osman, what must change starting now for us to build a better and stronger season 2 of the YIP Youth Talk Show?
I think season 1 has actually achieved its purpose of empowering our own, that's our youth, to own the narrative on governance while maintaining law and order. It's we have groomed new, we think after this season 1 would have groomed a new generation of articulate young leaders and also listeners out there. One key objective was to raise the visibility of our Youth Impact Parliament nationally, especially through our recent parliamentary recognition. So I think season 1 has also achieved that purpose, and we are also trying to create a model for youth media that is both educative and very, very engaging. So when you look at our media space, only few of them, there's only few allocations for the youth.
Yeah.
So I think this is a step in the right direction, where we'll get more youth to speak on national issues, and we are trying to cultivate the culture of youth media, where every media house will try to allocate airspace or slot for our youth so that they come and share their perspective. And looking back at season 1, we have witnessed a very powerful journey from discussing issues of national interest to youth specific challenges. That's where it brought about the special sessions, where we have the ladies session, the gentlemen session, and the speaker session that talks about specific issues, specific challenges we have as youth. So as we reflect on the entire episode, I think I can rate it 8.5 over 10.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a
Yes,
lot.
I think we can't get everything
Yeah.
perfect, but even though we are trying to get everything perfect, but I think it's not attainable, as we all know it, but we try to create the best out of it. So I'm looking forward for a greater impact in season 2, because getting a strong foundation from our season 1, I want to see a better season 2, where we'll get more topics that is, or let me say, as we all come here, season 2, we should be solution oriented to our youth problems. We should engage in discussions where we'll, at the end of the day, we recommend solutions, practicable and feasible solutions for our youth problems, so that at the end of the day, we'll help and create a better nation for ourselves. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
God bless our homeland, Ghana. Right Honorable Mark Bless Zomevenu. Season 1, glory be to God, is ending. So we're asking, what must change now, starting now, for us to build a stronger and a better season 2 of YIP Youth Talk Show?
Yeah, so season 1 has been expiring. I think this is my 4th time here. And with the season 1, I would say a big shout out to the whole of YIP for making this count. And I would like to give some special shout out to some people who have been making some impact on the waves anytime they come here. The first one is to His Excellency Jones Amagashi Viglo, the mastermind behind YIP, and we are always grateful for his insight and leadership so far. And the second person is the man of himself, Vixen Bright Salom. Anytime he comes here, I think his impact is always great. He's a farmer as well and an engineer. Yeah, so you can look out for Vixen Bright Salom on his social media handles and also follow whatever he does. And third person is Hibet Agbahode, who is the majority leader of Youth Impact Parliament, Fifth Parliament. Yeah, he's also a very young guy, a farmer as well, who has been making very great insight and education when it comes to youth and governance issues. And also one of the guys that anytime he comes here is political insight and other styles. Sometimes I do enjoy very well Charles Adonu Akatovi. When he comes here, he actually don't give chance to others to. When it comes to governance and political issues, you don't give chance to others to talk as well. Charles, I say a big shout out to you for making the season one also count. And to myself, who have been here for the season one numerous times, I've said it has been inspiring so far. Madam Host also has been a very played a pivotal role in season one. Miss Constantina Etonam Afi Agbanolau Duga. Yes, she has been inspiring so far for the season one. And also our top notch Miss Matilda, who is not here today. We say a big shout out to you as well. You have been hosting our stubbornness and everything from day one till today. We say a big shout out to you and all other people who are in Stone City, who are part of the team that always put us on the
Chief Justice Evans Agbagba and then Charles Jeho. Thanks to them all.
Yes, Stone City team, we are very, very grateful. Season one this is a starter. So we've seen a whole lot of glitches that we work on. Season 2 will be very, very better. Yes, season 2 will be very, very better. There are some glitches as to time and other constraints. So we just want to urge, it's now that we started, so the exposure is not there. So season 2, we urge the public to always join in the phone calls. Let's share insights and ideas. Yes, we also believe that we just started, so the exposure is a bit down. So season 2, let's work on that. Whenever we come, don't just leave us to be talking, but join us as we make the insight and contribution to national issues. Thank everyone who made this a success. I would say season 1 have been good. For the stats, I'll give them 9 out of 10. Thank you.
Wow. 9 out of 10. And thank you very much, my dear panelists. And as we bring this season to a close, one thing that is clear to all of us is that yes, leadership is not just a title, it's not just a position. It is a responsibility that shows itself when decisions are hard and when pressure is high. We have looked at systems, we have questioned authority, we have challenged ourselves, and now the real question is not what we have discussed. The question is what we will become. To every young person listening, don't wait for future of Ghana's democracy. Do not wait for the future of Ghana's democracy. Prepare for it, shape it, start now and be ready for it. To my guests and all honorable members of the Youth Impact Parliament who join us in this season, thank you for your honesty and your leadership throughout the conversations. And to everyone who has followed this journey from the very beginning, our listeners, our patrons, and our callers, this is not the end. It is just the checkpoint. To the team here at Stone City 90.7 FM, thank you so much for hosting us. I am Constantina Etonam Afi Agbanolau Duga, the second Deputy Speaker of the Youth Impact Parliament. And this has been our season finale of the Youth Impact Parliament Youth Talk Show on Stone City FM 90.7. We will be back stronger. Bye.